Welcome to Log Furniture How To, the most all-inclusive site on the net for log and rustic furniture, fixtures, and decor. That's logfurnitureHowTo.com. Hey everybody, welcome to San Juan Carpentry YouTube channel. My name is Scott Schaefer, and today I'm going to show you how to build a bar stool that can actually be flat packed, meaning you can finish it and then disassemble it, ship it to the customer at a cheaper rate, and then have them assemble it themselves. It's not really a unique design. It's actually pretty similar to some other stuff that we've built with the pocket hole joinery and everything like that. But basically the goal here is to eliminate the need for plugs, because plugs usually I sand them smooth and then finish oil over them after I drive the bolt. Well, I can't drive any bolts before I ship it, so all the plugs have to be put in by the customer. So I definitely don't want any plugs on the seat. Now I don't want my big plugs down low, so I have these little plugs. All that I'm going to go over in this video. Also, I have a couple of other side videos where you can learn how to make the tapered leg if you want to watch how to do that. It's just it's pretty simple, but it gives you a perfect taper so you get your desired footprint, and then also lets you attach it to the skirts here. So if you want to see that video, click on this link right here and that'll take you over there. Also, I have a video about the skirts and how to make those. It's pretty easy, but I made a video about it anyways, so go ahead and click on this link right here if you want to go see that video. And then of course I have a glue up video, so if you want to watch the video about how to glue up a seat, click on this link up here. And if you want to know how to carve a tenon, click on this link over here. So of course the first step is design, so let's take a look at that. This is a scale drawing. So my bar stool is going to be 24 inches tall. It's be 14 inches across, and then I want my footprint to be the same width as the seat, so 14 inches out. So the skirt is going to have pocket hole joinery, so it'll have 2 screws here, 2 screws here, and 2 screws going into the seat. And that's what's going to hold this whole area together. So it has to all be assembled after finishing. So that's why we're using the screws with the pocket hole joinery and the skirts. Also, we're going to have a spindle come across at various heights. And these are I'm gonna do those normally. So I'm gonna do tenons into the holes, except instead of driving bolts with plugs, I'm gonna drive screws, and then the plugs are gonna be smaller, and they're also gonna be not sanded smooth to the leg like I usually do, because the customer needs to be able to drive these screws and put the plug in. But I'm gonna still make it fashionable. That's the whole idea, is to make it sturdy and fashionable, and that's the challenge with shipping stools that are assembled by the customer. So anyway, let's get started. I'm just starting off by making all the parts real quick for the bar stool. You'll see this in the other videos. So for the stool, we're first going to drill the holes for the spindles, and I'm going to mark them at 14 and 16 inches. And I want to make sure that when I put the stool together that I have 2 parallel pairs that are at 14 inches and 2 parallel pairs that are 16 inches. So pay attention to that when you drill the holes. Then we're going to follow that up with drilling the pilot hole all the way through for the screw. Then from the other side, from the big hole, we're going to drill a 7/16 inch hole for the plug. The line I just drew is for the skirt, to line up the skirt. And you don't need any sort of specific spacer. I just use the same spacer on all of them. And that's just going to put the skirt in the same spot on every leg. So now we're going to put it together, and I'm going to use a clamp to hold the parts together while I drive the screws. There are special pocket hole joinery screws that you can get, and I highly recommend them because it'll keep it from cracking the wood, which is easy to do. And just make sure everything is square and lined up and all your edges are lined up as you do this. So we assembled 2 pairs of legs with skirts in between, and now we added the 2 other skirts to 1 pair of the legs, and then now we're going to put all 4 legs together. And this is a little bit more of a difficult task because there's not a lot of room to get your drill in there, so I use a gooseneck drill driver, which is pretty handy. So basically you're building a box, and this box is going to be perfectly square, or it should be at least, and it's going to balance out your stool, and it's going to sit flush to the seat. Alright, so now we're going to put it on the seat, and we're going to mark where the center is. So we're going to center it on the seat using a tape measure on all 4 sides. And once we like where it is, you're just going to drive the screws into the bottom of the seat. Make sure your screws aren't longer than the seat is thick. Don't want to be poked in the butt. Alright, so now that I have the legs and the seat assembled, we're going to measure for our spindles, so just take note of that. If you want to see the video on how I make spindles, just click on the link you see on the screen right now. After I have my spindles complete, I'm going to disassemble the bar stool so I can put it back together with the spindles. And now we get to put it all back together again. And I'm going to use glue in my holes for my spindles. We're going to put together, just like we did before with the skirts, is we're going to put together one pair of legs and then the other pair of legs, and then we're going to attach all four of them together at the same time with all four spindles. And it could be a little bit challenging getting those screws to line up with the holes that they were in before up top with the skirts, but it's really important to make sure that all those screws go back in the same hole. Now before you drive the screws into the spindles, you want to screw it back down to the seat. This is going to ensure that it stays flat to the seat, because if the spindles are just a little bit too short, or if there's a little bit of gap or whatever in there, driving those screws and pulling it all together could tweak the whole set of legs. So you want to make sure that the seat is holding it still when you drive those screws for the spindles. Alright guys, well that's how you make this bar stool. It's pretty simple, like I said, and you can always take this the seat off and change it out with a different seat if something happens to this. That's kind of the benefit that I like about this design, is that the seat's not permanent. So if it does crack or split or get ruined somehow during use, it is replaceable. Everything else not so much, because you've glued these in. You could go and not glue these in, but I don't recommend doing that, because this really helps the strength of the overall piece. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and like the videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye. The music you heard in this video was performed by Colorado pianist Lacey Black. To find out more about Lacey, you can visit her website at lacyblack.net or find her on Facebook.